It's another Tuesday morning. You're standing in line for your morning coffee, a glorious $6 oat milk latte, your small comfort. The barista calls your name. You shuffle to the counter and pull out your wallet. You tap your debit card on the little machine. The terminal flashes, approved. Just like that, you're on your way, cup in hand. It felt like nothing, it felt free, but that simple swipe set off a chain reaction in your financial life, and it might be costing you way more than you think. This ritual happens millions of times a day. People use debit cards for everything: groceries, gas, online shopping, that subscription box you forgot to cancel. It feels responsible. You're using your own money. You're not going into debt and you see the money leave immediately. That's the story banks want you to believe. But the truth is more complicated and a lot less convenient. Debit cards are marketed as simple and safe. A direct line to your checking account. A digital key. Unlike credit cards, debit cards feel honest. But what if that feeling is an illusion? What if that piece of plastic is risky and expensive? It's time to pull back the curtain. Every swipe exposes your checking account to the world. You're using a key that can unlock all your cash. Let's get one thing straight. Banks are businesses, and their business is to make money. One of the ways they do that is through a complex web of fees, many tied to your debit card and checking account. You might think free checking really is free, but the fine print tells a different story. Some banks charge a monthly maintenance fee if your balance dips below a minimum. One unexpected car repair or a slightly larger grocery bill could push you under that threshold. Suddenly you're paying $10 or $15 a month just to hold your money. Then there are out-of-network ATM fees. You need cash, but your bank's ATM isn't nearby. You use a convenience store ATM and pay a $3 surcharge. But wait, there's more. The ATM owner charges you, and your bank often charges another out-of-network fee. Withdrawing $20 can end up costing $26. That's a 30% fee to access your own money, a classic double dip that punishes convenience. Beyond obvious fees, there are subtle ones. Small merchants might require a minimum purchase for cards or add a small card surcharge. Debit transactions can still carry merchant costs that get passed to you. Then there are international transaction fees. Buying from an overseas site or using your debit card abroad often incurs a foreign fee, around 3%. A $100 souvenir becomes $103. Small fees add up, dollars here, dollars there. They act like a slow leak in your financial boat. Over a year, monthly maintenance fees, a handful of ATM withdrawals, and an online foreign purchase can add up to hundreds of dollars. Money vanishes from your account without buying anything tangible. It's the cost of a free tool, and almost entirely avoidable if you know how the system works. Here's where things get really scary. Let's imagine a scenario. A scammer places a tiny, nearly invisible skimmer on the gas pump you used this morning. They capture your debit card information and your PIN. Before you've even finished your commute, they've created a clone of your card. They don't just buy a coffee. They go to an electronics store and buy a $2,000 television. Then they go to an ATM and start withdrawing the maximum daily limit in cash. Because they used your debit card, that money is not pending. It is gone. Instantly. Your checking account, which held your rent money, your grocery budget, your emergency savings, is now at zero. You wake up the next morning and see the notifications. Your heart sinks. You immediately call the bank's fraud department. They are sympathetic, of course. They open an investigation. They tell you they will look into the fraudulent charges and work to resolve the issue. But here is the critical difference. While they are investigating, your money is still gone. Your rent check is going to bounce. You have no money for groceries. The bank might give you a provisional credit, but this can take days. And sometimes they only do it after a lengthy process. You are left in financial limbo. This isn't some far-fetched horror story. It happens every single day. The Electronic Fund Transfer Act provides some protection, but the burden of proof is often on you. You have to prove you didn't authorize the transactions. You have to file police reports. You have to spend hours on the phone, filling out paperwork. The recovery process can take weeks or, in some complicated cases, even months. During that entire time, you are without the cash that you need to live, all because a criminal got access to a 16-digit number. When it comes to protecting you from fraud, the difference between a debit card and a credit card isn't just a small detail, it's a Grand Canyon-sized gap. The laws governing them are completely different, and it all comes down to whose money is on the line. With a debit card, fraudulent charges remove money directly from your checking account. It's your money that's gone. You must fight your bank to get it back. The law, specifically the Electronic Fund Transfer Act, says your liability is limited to $50 if you report the loss within 2 business days. But if you wait longer, that liability can jump to $500 or even become unlimited. Now let's flip the script and look at a credit card. When a fraudulent charge is made on your credit card, it's not your money that has been stolen, it's the bank's money. You're using a short-term loan for every purchase. If a scammer buys that same $2,000 television with your credit card number, your cash is still sitting safely in your bank account. You call, report it, say, "That wasn't me." They almost always remove the charge immediately while they investigate. The legal protection is also far stronger. Under the Fair Credit Billing Act, your maximum liability is capped at $50, and in practice all major issuers have a $0 liability policy. You are never on the hook. The bank takes on the risk and has every incentive to resolve it quickly, whereas with a debit card, procedure can be slow and painful. Using a debit card is like leaving the front door to your house wide open. Using a credit card is like having a high-tech security firm guarding your house. This fundamental difference is a compelling reason to minimize debit usage for everyday purchases. Overdraft protection is one of the most deceptively named services in the entire financial industry. It sounds like a helpful safety net, doesn't it? If you accidentally try to spend more than you have, the bank will cover the difference so your transaction isn't declined. How nice. Except this protection comes at an outrageous cost. Median overdraft fee in the US is about $35. You buy a $6 latte, you only had $4 in your account. Bank covers $2, then charges a $35 fee. You just paid $37 for a $6 cup of coffee. This isn't rare. It's a massive profit center for banks. They make billions from overdraft fees. These fees hit people living paycheck to paycheck hardest, often right before payday. It's a punitive system that kicks people when they're down. You might opt out of overdraft for debit purchases. Smart move. But fees can still trigger from automated payments or from checks you wrote thinking you had enough. Even if you avoid an overdraft, you can still get an NSF fee. That's when the bank declines a transaction because you lack funds. Then they charge you, often around $35 for being declined, like a bouncer charging you a cover fee to not let you in. You get nothing back, just a penalty. Checking accounts and debit cards are full of financial landmines. A miscalculation or unexpected automatic withdrawal can start a cascade of fees. One overdraft lowers your balance, making the next overdraft more likely, leading to another fee, and so on. It's a fee spiral. Your debit card is the key that unlocks it. Use a credit card and that risk disappears. Try to spend over your limit and the transaction is simply declined. No fee. End of story. So far, we've focused on the direct costs of using a debit card, the fees, the fraud, but there's another more subtle cost that can add up to thousands: the opportunity cost. This isn't about money you lose, it's about the money you fail to gain. Every time you use your debit card, you are actively choosing to turn down free money, free travel, a host of other valuable perks. You are leaving a massive amount of value on the table year after year simply by using the wrong piece of plastic. So where does this free money come from? It's funded by the credit card companies who are in a fierce competition for your business. To entice you, they offer incredibly valuable rewards programs. They can afford this because every time you use a credit card, the merchant pays a small percentage of the sale, called an interchange fee. The rewards you earn are simply the credit card company giving you a cut of that fee as a thank you for using their card. They're sharing their profits with you. For example, cash back. You get a percentage of every purchase back, as a statement credit or as a direct deposit. A standard cashback card might offer 2% back on everything. If you spend $2,000 a month on your card for regular expenses, that's $40 per month or $480 per year. That's pure, effortless profit for things you'd buy anyway. Use a debit card, and you get exactly zero. Over 10 years, that simple choice costs you nearly $5,000. The rewards can get even more lucrative. Many cards offer boosted rewards in specific categories. 5% back on groceries, 3% back on dining, 3% back on gas or streaming services. If your family spends $800 a month on groceries, a 5% card puts $40 back in your pocket every month. That's another $480 a year, just from buying food. By strategically using a couple of different cards for different purchases, it's easy to earn over $1,000 in cash back annually, without changing your spending habits at all. And if you travel, the rewards become even more insane. Travel rewards cards offer points or miles redeemable for free flights and hotel stays. The real power comes from huge sign-up bonuses. A single bonus on a premium travel card can be worth over $1,000 if you meet the spending requirement, but their true value is unlocked when you transfer points to airline and hotel partners. Suddenly, a 100,000 point bonus isn't just $1,000. It could be a business-class flight to Europe or a week at a luxury resort, an experience worth many times more. Plus, these cards often include perks like airport lounge access, free checked bags, and travel insurance. With strategy, people take multiple free vacations every year. When you pay with your debit card, you're forfeiting all this value. You're paying full sticker price for everything. If a store offered a 2% discount every day for using one payment method, you'd take it in a heartbeat. That is exactly what a cashback credit card is. By defaulting to your debit card, you're essentially telling the banks, "No thanks, I don't want that free money." You can keep it. That simple $480 a year we calculated, over a 30-year period, that's over $14,000. If you optimize with a few cards, that number can easily double or triple. It's a fortune in missed rewards, all because of a simple habit. At this point, you might be thinking, okay, Graham, I get it. Debit cards are bad, but I use mine to control my spending. Credit cards are dangerous. This is a common and understandable concern. The fear is you'll be tempted to spend money you don't have and fall into high-interest debt. This is a behavioral problem, not a problem with the tool itself. The solution is not an inferior, riskier tool. The solution is a system that gives you the best of both worlds. The protection and rewards of a credit card with the discipline of a debit card. Here's the system. It's simple. You continue to use your budget just as before. You know how much you have for groceries, gas, entertainment. The only change is the physical card you use at checkout. Instead of your debit card, use your rewards credit card for planned purchases. Then, and this is most important, set up an automatic payment from your checking account to pay off the entire credit card balance in full every single month. Not the minimum payment, the full statement balance. When you pay in full every month, you pay $0 in interest. The credit card effectively becomes a debit card with a 30-day delay, supercharged with fraud protection and rewards. You're still only spending the money you have. The card is a secure middleman. This simple shift fortifies your finances. Your actual cash is insulated from fraud, sitting safely in your bank account, disconnected from the terminals you interact with daily. Let's tackle one of the most common and frankly most compelling arguments for using a debit card: the psychological impact. The logic goes like this. When you use your debit card, the money is instantly gone from your account. That spending feels tangible, it feels. You see your balance drop right there on your banking app, a stark, immediate reminder of your purchase. It's a direct cause and effect relationship. Conversely, swiping a credit card can feel abstract, almost like playing with Monopoly money. The actual payment is a problem for future you. That bill won't arrive for weeks, creating a dangerous disconnect that makes it incredibly easy to overspend without feeling the immediate consequences. This isn't just a feeling, it's a well-documented psychological phenomenon known as payment coupling. It refers to the perceived connection, or coupling, between the moment you make a purchase and the moment you actually feel the financial pain of paying for it. With a debit card, the coupling is tight and instantaneous. The joy of the purchase is immediately followed by the pain of the payment. With a credit card, that coupling is loose and delayed. You get all the joy up front, and the pain is deferred, bundled into a single, often overwhelming bill at the end of the month. This temporal separation is what behavioral economists point to as a key driver of credit card debt. Now, I want to be clear. I completely understand this logic. It makes perfect intuitive sense. We are wired to respond to immediate feedback. However, and this is the critical point, relying on this mechanism is a financial crutch. It's a form of self-imposed training wheels. Using the pain of a declining balance to control your spending is like saying you need to touch a hot stove every morning just to remind yourself that it's dangerous. A truly disciplined and financially mature person doesn't need the constant threat of a burn. They understand the principle of heat and respect it. They know not to touch the stove in the first place. This crutch keeps you in a state of financial infancy, reacting to pain rather than acting with intention. If you're depending on the immediate sting of a purchase to keep you in line, it's a clear sign that you haven't built a robust, proactive budgeting system. You are effectively outsourcing your self-control to your payment method. And let me tell you, that is an incredibly expensive way to manage your money. You're not just paying with your dollars. You're paying with missed opportunities, lost cash back, foregone travel rewards, and weaker fraud protection. The ultimate goal isn't to fear your spending, It's to be so intimately in tune with your financial picture that you know, down to the dollar, exactly how much you can afford to spend on any given day, in any given category, regardless of which piece of plastic you pull from your wallet. This is where modern tools become your superpower. Apps like YNAB, Monarch Money, or even a meticulously crafted spreadsheet can become your central financial command center. They aggregate all your accounts, checking, savings, and yes, your credit cards, giving you a holistic, real-time view of your financial life. Every swipe of your credit card can be instantly categorized, showing you exactly where your money is going as it happens. This digital dashboard provides the exact same psychological feedback loop as watching your checking account dwindle. You see the dining out category budget shrink with every restaurant meal, or the shopping budget deplete after a trip to the mall. It's the same immediate consequence, the same tight payment coupling, but with a crucial difference. You're operating from a place of knowledge and control, not fear and restriction. You get all the psychological benefits of real money spending, but without the inherent risks and missed rewards of relying solely on a debit card. Breaking free from this psychological trap isn't just a neat trick, it's a fundamental and necessary step toward true financial maturity. Ultimately, this is about a profound mindset shift. It's about graduating from a defensive posture of, I can't overspend because my bank account will hit zero, to an offensive, confident strategy of, I overspend because I have a plan, and this purchase aligns with it. This proactive approach is infinitely more powerful and sustainable. It unlocks the ability to strategically use the most optimal financial tools available, like a high-rewards credit card, to your advantage, earning you money and protecting your purchases without succumbing to their potential pitfalls. Think of it like this. A novice might be given a dull, safe knife to avoid cutting themselves. But a master chef wields a razor-sharp blade with precision and skill to create something amazing. True financial control isn't found in choosing the most restrictive, safest tool. It's found in developing the internal discipline and the external systems to wield the most powerful tools responsibly and effectively. So, what's the final verdict? Should you grab a pair of scissors, perform surgery on your debit card and banish it forever? The answer isn't a simple yes, it's more strategic. The goal isn't to eliminate the debit card but to demote it from its starring role to a very specific part-time supporting actor in your financial life. Your debit card does have a couple of highly limited situations where it's still the champion. The first, and most critical, is its original purpose: getting cash from your own bank's ATM. When you need physical currency and you're at a fee-free in-network machine, it's the perfect tool. On the flip side, using a credit card for a cash advance is a financial disaster. You're hit with an immediate fee, often 5%, and a sky-high interest rate starts ticking away from that very second. It's one of the most expensive ways to borrow money and should be avoided at all costs. The second scenario is when you're forced into it, when a merchant won't accept a credit card, or they penalize you for using one. Think of some smaller government offices, a local landlord, or a small cash-only business. They might charge a hefty 3 or 4% convenience fee. In these rare situations, do the math. If your rent is $1,500 and the fee is 3%, that's a $45 charge. If your 2% cashback card only earns you $30, you're losing $15. In that case, the debit card is the lesser of two evils. But these situations are becoming less and less common. But for literally everything else, that other 99% of your life's transactions, the credit card is the undisputed champion. We're talking about groceries, gas, dining, online shopping, travel, and even your monthly utility bills. For all of these, the credit card provides a combination of rewards and security that a debit card simply cannot match. So, how do you put this into practice? It's a simple, 5-step system. First, the foundation: build a simple budget. Know where your money is going. Second, get the right tool. A good, no annual fee rewards credit card. A simple, flat-rate 2% cashback card is a powerful place to start. Third, channel all of your normal budgeted expenses through this card. You are not spending more, just spending more intelligently. Fourth, the golden rule: pay off the entire statement balance in full every single month. Set up automatic payments to ensure this happens without fail. This is how you avoid interest. Fifth, physically separate yourself from your debit card. Lock it in a drawer. Only take it out when you're heading to your bank's ATM. Following this system transforms your finances. You'll earn maximum rewards on money you are already spending, hundreds of dollars back in your pocket each year. You gain ironclad fraud protection, If your card number is stolen, it's the bank's money at risk, not yours. Every on-time payment helps build a positive credit history, the key to better rates on future loans, and it costs you nothing. The debit card isn't evil, but it's an outdated tool. It exposes your cash to fraud, offers no rewards, and leaves money on the table. By embracing a credit card responsibly, you're not just changing how you pay, you're building a financial fortress, turning spending into a strategic asset, and making your money work for you, not for the banks.